What's up, everybody? We are back with another look at the Millie Maker status update. Where yesterday had some lineups going, had 150 in the Millie. Knew that after the day was over, we'd have a lot of dead lineups and hopefully a couple living lineups as well. So it's 1 o'clock right now. Before the games get going today at 3:05, I'm going to try to rebuild some of these lineups. As you remember, yesterday wasn't super worried about what was in there right now. Knew we'd basically just be doing a rebuild today, so that's what we're going to try to do. We'll take a look back at sort of the results here if I can get that pulled up. Okay, so if you'll recall sort of how the games went yesterday, the Bills D kind of broke the slate, so we're good there. We had 55% Bills D. That was great. We had 45% Rams D, so we've killed 45% of our lineups. -1 from Rams D, 19 from Bills D. And let's see, maybe if I can get to the right thing here, I'll be able to show you. Excuse me while I click around, but there we go. This here's sort of a list of what everybody did yesterday. The scores that you can sort of live with from yesterday are these right here. If you played any of the other players, you're probably dead. You could argue some of the players even here you might be drawing dead to win first place in the Millie. Van Jefferson was a great option. Probably should have given him some more consideration. But to me, I was like, Josh Reynolds is only $200 more. I didn't think the ownership gap would be that big. So I was wrong there. Jefferson outscores him by 7. Getting that touchdown. The touchdown goes to Reynolds instead of Jefferson. Obviously, a different story. So we had some Reynolds, no Jefferson. So the teams with Jefferson, there's only 1% of them. That's comforting. At least you know that you can probably make that back up. Anyway, so these are the guys that I'm considering not dead. If you had Rodgers, you're kind of still alive. But honestly, I could sort of change my thought process on that too, to maybe say, well, if one of the quarterbacks today is in the optimal, which is a granted for what we need to succeed, then obviously Rodgers is dead. I guess the difference is, those teams, like if everybody kind of scores in that same general range, then yeah, the Rodgers lineups are just as live, even though ours are live too. But Lazard, great performance, 19.6 off that. Akers, man, gosh, we faded Akers, and he got that late touchdown. If we could have done without that, it's be sitting around a dozen from Akers with half the field on him at 5,700. That would have been nice. We did play Aaron Jones at 6,800, just outscored by Akers. Obviously, you would much rather be sitting in the position with Akers with a slightly higher score and less salary, but I don't think we're buried with Aaron Jones. I think those are still live lineups. John Brown got 14 points. We had a little bit of John Brown, but we mostly had Stephon Diggs. Diggs is the guy so far, 27 points. We have some Diggs, Lazard, Bills D lineups with nothing else. That's the ticket. Okay. So best I can figure, I have about 21 lineups that aren't dead. I still have a chance to first, and that's not terrible. Some of those have a Tunyon in them, which isn't great, but maybe we can get by. I may be being a little bit optimistic there on Tunyon. And same thing true with, Josh Reynolds. You hope that 3,200, that ends up being an acceptable punt number. But we're talking about winning first place among 200,000 people. We'd have to nail everything else. But luckily, a lot of Bills D, a lot of Stephon Diggs. That all bodes well. So basically what I'm going to do is try to update the good lineups, make them exactly the way I want, then update the bad lineups. It's tough. To me, it's kind of like 3 tiers of lineups after the first day. You have lineups that you need to manipulate to get to the cash line. Like that's their best, maybe they 3x or something, but you're trying to get them to the cash line and return some money. That's one strategy. Second group are groups that are technically dead to first, but could still compete for a big prize, a big-ish prize. maybe a four-figure prize or something like that, or at least a three-figure prize. So we'll treat those sort of a different way. And then the 21 lineups that we have left that are straight live. Okay, whatever. So let's just go one by one here. Let's do our elite lineups first, in case we get crunched on time. Obviously, it likes Darrell Williams a lot without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Question is, how much does he pair well with Patrick Mahomes? Williams would be very useful in non-Mahomes lineups. But you can see here, this is a Diggs. You see the lock button. Diggs, Lazard, Bills lineup there. Okay, so if we're going to Mahomes lineup here, which I think is fine, we can go, and we have two running back spots at minimum to fill. This one's going to try to force Kamara. I mean, they're all going to kind of try to force Kamara in there. Don't mind that. I guess the question becomes, is there a way to find a way for Kelsey in there? And it's like, if you're not going to play Kelsey, if you're not going to play Kelsey and Hill, and you're going to play Mahomes, you almost have to try to find a way to pick a different receiving option. So it might be that instead of Leonard Fournette here, we'll see, is there a way to refigure this? There might not be a way to play Hill, Kelsey, and Kamara. That's going to be a salary restriction. So it might just be here that we'd go to Kelsey. So we don't have Kamara in this lineup. And we're spending $49.7. We can't really, I mean, there's nothing to drop down from it for net. You could theoretically spend $3,200 here. So let's say we wanted to remove Kelsey out of this lineup. Let's just put Michael Thomas in there. Let's throw Kelsey in. Oh, geez, please. Gotta pick a cheap guy. So, geez, we still can't put him in there. Then the most expensive guy I got is $3,200. You could play Pringle in that lineup. What's that look like? Would you rather play Pringle or Cameron Brate, given that you're playing Hill and Kelsey already, and you really can't spend any less possible money than that at those other positions? I think we're better with Brate there, don't you? Where's Brate? I do like Brate. You know, you could go Kadero Hodge, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I do like that. We'll have an option. We can change our mind later.